Week 13, the last week before the playoffs. This week's for all the marbles, for all the kitten caboodles, where the men get separated from the boys, the lions from the zebras, the wolves from the sheeps. 6 playoff spots to be had. 4 teams are going home and will be watching the games early from their couches. Joey, Taco, and myself had guaranteed spots with records of 8-4 going into the last week. Tony, Joe, Beasley, and Danny held their own destinies in their hands, sitting at 6-6, win, and they're in. Butts and Owen at 5-7 needed to win and get some help from other people. What an exciting playoff race we had. Everyone's got a shot. Wait, that can't be right. No. Oh. And the commish, sitting at 3-9, just like the Giants were mathematically eliminated a long time ago. So, let's jump into it. Matchups. With a fierce divisional matchup, Butts versus Tony, projections had them less than 1 point differential. Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, and Derrick Henry combined for a total of 86.4 points for Tony, while Butts, Jimmy G, Tevin Coleman, and the Eagles D combined for 12.6 points. And Kyle Allen's got a comfy seat on the bench with 27 points. Butts, 107. Tony, 149. Let's cut to some quotes. Tony, the Beach Boys are back, baby! Beasley Weasley is living in the past and the champs is going down, just like Butch in Pulp Fiction. Everyone keeps doubting me. That's how I'll beat them. Motto headed into the playoffs is survive in advance. 1 week at a time. Bleach party at my house if I lose. Everyone is invited. Also, my streak of never missing the playoff continues. My Year was my number one song on Spotify. I'm gonna take it as a sign, baby! Butts. Bruce Lee once said, defeat is a state of mind. No one can be defeated until defeat has been accepted as reality. I do not accept defeat. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes it rains. Unfortunately, it rained this season. We all have tough decisions to make and are going to take a hard look at our roster. Nothing but a championship will be acceptable. And we are going to take the approach actions to ensure a championship victory in 2020. Next, we have Joey versus Danny. Danny's QBs have themselves a day. Brady and Watson both go for 30 points with the combined 65 points. But when Jonathan Williams, OBJ, and Noah Fant combine for 10.9 points, it's hard to win. On the other end, Joey's positional players all go for 10 plus points, with Edelman, Miles Sanders, and Mahomes combined for 64 points. Projections had them at a 30-point differential with Joey favoring. It ended with a 30-point differential. Joey, 149, Danny, 119. Time for some quotes. Joey, my only regret this season was not making more trades. Pretty fucking lame. Danny, birds were hot to start, and then Stonk's market crashed and the birds fell into a Great Depression, worse than the one in 1929. The birds will regroup in the offseason and pray for a better season. If we're serious, though, it'll never get better, but everyone needs a stat game. Next, we have Taco and Joe, quite possibly the matchup of the year. Joe had the hottest team going into the last week before the playoffs. It's been said Joe goes as the Ravens go, but his 4 Ravens combined for 53.5 points. It ultimately came down to everyone else on his team. Breeze, Emmanuel Sanders, and Will Fuller combined for only 23.2 points, while Kareem Hunt and Darius Geis were sipping hot cocoa on the bench with 45.2 points combined, while Taco's team kept doing taco things. Matt Ryan, Zeke, and Devontae Adams and Christian McCaffrey go for 82 points, rumbling, stumbling into the end zone. Taco, 145.6. Joe, 125.1. Taco. I love the heart my boys have shown this year. Matty Ice, Jacoby, my number one QBs. We'll ride them until the end, unless David Blau and Drew Lock ball. CMC, my muse, my flame. Love you, dog. MVP Zeke, also my dog. Keep eating. Godwin, you are a godsend. Keep balling. Devontae, bossing him to a beautiful fantasy player before my eyes. Keep elevating. DJ Chark. Chark Attack. Waiver Gold. Hoop, my guy. Tight end number 1. Eckler. Fuck Melvin Gordon. Eckler is more of an RB1 in his pinky than Melvin does in his whole body. PPR monster. Panthers and Bills D. Solid all year. Stay the course. Finish strong. Let's see in Butker. 2 number 1 ranked kickers on the same squad. Wouldn't want to have it any other way. Either of them can kick my balls any day. Joe, sadly, did not have a quote, so I'm going to let Dennis Green, the famous, speak for him on his behalf.
Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Next, we have the champ versus the commish. Commish's season is more of the same. He puts up a good amount of points, but just happens to be going up against that week's leader in points. Wentz, DJ Moore, and Todd Gurley combined for 68.1 points. It's overshadowed by the champ's Titty Boy, Goff, and Robert Woods, 89.1 points. Beasley, 163.1. Commish, 138.7. The commish. Or Beasley. What I want to say, everyone doubted the champ, but look where we are. I am poised for another deep playoff run, and boy does it feel good. I mean, we're talking about the back-to-back 2017-2018 champ. Also 2015. That's not luck. That is, as I've said before, GM doing GM things. Only one other person in this league knows what it takes to be champ, and he'll taste the bitter taste of defeat in Week 15. The matchup of me and Tony is not worth mentioning, as I am already looking forward towards the semifinals. If Mitch is hot, the champ is hot. You don't want the champ to get hot. And unfortunately, the commish declined to speak on his behalf. Last but not least, the Twin Bowl. This has been a rivalry for 28 and a half years in the making. The projections were as close as their heights, with Owen just a hair taller, with a 4-point differential. It was an ugly battle. Carson only had 3 players score more than 10 points. George Kittle, Mohamed Sanu, Jetsty, and Arizona kicker combined for only 11.5 points. His QBs could not carry the load. And Owen not having a single player scoring more than 20, but Cooper and Chris Carson leading the charge with 34.4 points combined. Owen squeaks out a win, 120-101. Owen, my team is good. They score lots of points. It's just everyone else scores more. And, whoa, I'm getting word we're gonna be cutting live to Carson for after game quotes.